sometimes I kind of wonder if some of these teams are even trying. This is Sports Hour. Week 5 is over, and this is a very strange week. Not much off of this is really great off of it. But we're going to go ahead and talk about the teams that we're going in for this last week. Now, there's some of these games that were pretty good. And some of these games are just sad, at least towards the beginning of the game. A lot of games did happen to have a lot of high-scoring games. We still have some pretty good undefeated teams. We got the Dogs are still undefeated. They demolished the Bears. The Falcons are still undefeated. They had a hard time with the Ravens. Stars are still undefeated. They beat the Jets. Werewolves are still undefeated. It was not really that close between the Chargers. Of course, there are also teams that have not won any games at all. The Athens haven't won a game, though they have tried. Not this week, though. They just didn't do anything this week. Legends are really not doing well. They aren't necessarily a bad team, but they just had some really hard schedule going up at the beginning. Cardinals, they just need to get some help because they are not getting anything. Cardinals need to go to basically towards the hospital wing at this point because they are not doing well at all. And I think there's one more. Yeah, the Superman. And the Superman, just please give me something better for that game. Because all these teams didn't do too well this week. And granted, last week, this is the weekly standings. I'm in first currently, but who knows that going to stay. We're still pretty close in amount here. Getting into the divisional amount, we have the divisions are still pretty tough at this point. The first division, it's actually tough on one side and not tough on the other. The Dogs, the Panthers, and the Knights are all actually really good teams. The Knights were very disappointing this week. They ended up having a tying instead of actually winning their game, although they probably should have won their game. No one knows what's going on with the NBL South. It's pretty spread out with the NBL West. In the NBL East, the Falcons are just dominating that division. But the Browns are doing pretty well, too, for that one. Werewolves, while they are definitely dominating the division, they are not dominating the division. They're actually just to put it this way, they are demolishing everyone they've placed off, and they are also by far the best team currently in the NBL. Warriors are 5-0 at this point. Stars are 5-0. Although Stars have had a great offense. Their defense is kind of struggling, allowing quite a lot of points, almost 500 at this point. And then the Colts. Currently, the playoffs are going to be as follows. That is the order. The playoffs would be Dogs would have the number one seed, as I predicted. The Falcons would have the number 2 seed. I have no clue where that came from. The Dragons would have the number 3 seed, mostly because of points. The 4th seed would go to the Giants. They're leading their division. No one knows what's going to happen in that division yet. And the Panthers, Indians, Knights, and Browns would all make the playoffs as their respective seeds. On the other side, we have the Stars, number 1 seed, Werewolves, number 2 seed, Warriors, number 3 seed, and Colts, number 4 seed. There happen to be in that order. And then we have the Huskies, Otters, Wheeling Cats, and Tex are the current leaders of those divisions. There are some really good players, and honestly, the team that's showing the best right now, has the best offense, is the Panthers by far. They have almost 650 points. The second best team is the Dogs. They got 589 points, but there's still a pretty big difference in that one. Just to show you the difference, it's only a 60-point difference. Oh wait, I'm looking the wrong way. Hold on. The difference between these two teams is 140 points. So they've got a pretty big points, but their offense and defenses are actually pretty close when it comes to the amount. Even though they are they're actually pretty far when it comes back to the point position, and who knows what's going to happen with that position. Let's get into Week 6. Week 6 is going to be, the first off, we have the game of the week already. The Panthers and the Knights will face off against each other. Honestly, this could be the game of the week no matter what happened on this game, because Panthers are favored by 19. Both these teams are pretty close in record, even though they're not exactly. The Panthers did lose to... Who did the Panthers lose to? I think they lost to the Stars. They lost to the Stars, right. Back in here. But that's the only team the Panthers have lost against, and they are still demolishing everything here. The Knights looking at pretty good standing points as well. Look at the division. They're actually really close when it comes to points. They're actually not that far apart from each other. The difference is the Knights have 58 points more than their opponents, and the Panthers have like 250 points over. So in my opinion here, it's going to be a great game. It's going to be a close game. I wouldn't be surprised if this game actually is a very low scoring, because both these teams do have a pretty good defense when it comes to the fact. But I'm going to say right now, even though I do think the Knights are going to put up a good fight, I'm picking the Panthers here, and I think it's going to have to be where it's going. We get the Foxes and the Tigers. I don't even know what we're going to do with this game. It could go either way. The Foxes right now, 18 and 19. The Tigers, 26 and 26. They're worse by quite a bit. Fox are favored by 15, and I believe that the Foxes are going to win this game. No, wait. Yeah, Fox are going to win this game due to the fact that they just have a much better team overall. Leland Cats and Lightning, I don't think we need to talk about this one. The Leland Cats are 3-2. The Lightning are 0-5. Lightning are down here. Let me see if I can find them. Let's go over here. They are currently 35th and 35th. So basically, there's one team worse than them. I think, period. Hawks are worse than them in their defense, supposedly. Although I'm kind of questioning that. And the only, I don't think there's actually any teams that are worse than them in the actual points of that amount. No, there's no teams that are worse than them. So they're one of the worst teams. They're probably the worst team. Give me the Cats all day, and I don't want to do that. Thank you. And we got the Werewolves and the Jets. I think, and to be fair here, it is a divisional game. I believe. The Werewolves and Jets. Both these teams are actually going to be pretty good. The Werewolves are good at offense, but they're also good at defense. The Jets are good defense, but they're not great in offense. And that way, I'm going to have to pick the Werewolves winning this game. Why am I picking like this? We got the Huskies and the Stars. This is going to be a great game. Could have easily been the game of the week as well. I don't know what to say here. And what I'm going to say is, it's going to be a tough one. I'm going to pick the Stars here. I think the Stars are doing something really good off it. They have number 3, I think, offense. Yeah, they have the 33rd defense. But looking at the Huskies, they're kind of more of an average. I think the Huskies are not going to keep up with the Stars' scoring. So I'm going to kick the Stars here. Although I do think it's a good chance that the Huskies could win this game. We got ourselves the Cardinals Legends. This is going to be... Can we just skip this game, please? Because this game is just not good. Cardinals and Legends both are awful. I mean, look at this. They're last place in their divisions. They have opposite spectrums. The difference is, I think the Legends are going to absolutely lose this game because they're not even close to actually pointing anything. They're 31 and 37 when it comes to this. Cardinals, not great in defense, but they have a much better offense, and I'm going to say in that case, it's definitely going to be the Cardinals will win this game. We got the Otters and Warriors, tough one. I mean, looking at the Otters and Warriors, I think they're in the same division, if I remember correctly. Yeah, the Otters and Warriors are basically fighting. They're not fighting for first place in the division because they're too far apart. Warriors are better in defense. Otters are kind of not great in defense, but they do have a good, decent offense. It's going to be a tough game. Yeah, I'm going to pick the Warriors. I do think there's a good chance the Otters could win this game, but it just doesn't show me. I'm not blown away from the context that the Otters are going to win this game. We got the Angels and Browns. Both these teams are in the same division, I believe. We got the Angels, Browns. They're really only one game separated, but we got really good offense versus a really good defense. Who's going to win? For me, the Browns win because there's the Angels. While the Angels do have one of the best defenses out there, they are not good at scoring, and I just don't think it's going to happen for them. We got the Chargers and the Dogs. Give me the Dogs all day. Dogs are way better than this. They're, as we said, second best and they're 10th best. Not bad at all for that. We got the Lynx and the Packers. Tough one. So honestly, I don't know where to put this one. Because the Lynx, look at the Lynx here. Lynx are not good. But they're tied with defensive. And I think in the context, I think the Packers are going to do slightly better here. I'm giving the Packers to win this one. Dragons and Pirates, please don't even ask me about that game. The Dragons are 5-0. The Pirates are 1-3. I don't know how on earth the Pirates were able to tie with the Knights, but they did, and it's not happening this week. Colts and UNC. Give me the Colts. UNC really is not bad of a team, but they're not as good as the Colts. And this is a divisional game as well. I think it's going to be a very good, tough matchup. But also to point out that the Colts have one of the best defenses and a pretty good offense. The UNC has a decent of both of them, so it's not going to be an easy game, but it's not going to be a good game. Lions and Falcons, I really hope to say that the Lions can pull up a win here, but to be honest here, it's not going to be easy because the Falcons are 10-18, are 10 and 18th, versus we have the Lions, who are only down here, and they're 26 and 13. I gotta give the Falcons the victory here, but I don't think honestly there's a chance the Lions win this game. We got the Giants and Dolphins. I don't know how the Giants lost. Yeah, the Giants lost by the Saints. Grant, that can't be good for his team. But I think honestly the Giants just had a hard time this last game. I'm going to go ahead and give the Giants the victory here because the Dolphins are just not good. Dolphins are pretty bad in both positions. We got the. This is just not fair. This is not a fair game whatsoever. But we got the Bears and the Kings, and I'm going to say right now, I don't have a clue what's going to happen in this game. The Bears might get a victory out of this. The Bears, at this point in time, are pretty bad. They're 33-28. As for the team they're facing off against, the Kings, who are in the same division and are only slightly are 16-16. I gotta give the Kings the victory here, but if the Bears can come and win this game, that would be really nice. Beagles and Subban, don't even need to ask about that because the Beagles are going to win this game. The Subban are just not good at it whatsoever. Tex and the Bobcats. To be honest, I would probably flip a coin here because you have the Tex. The Tex are 12-24. Bobcats are 24 hits. I don't think there's honestly much of a chance that the Bobcats are going to win this game. But I am going to pick, probably going to make myself a really bad position here, but I'm going to go with the Bobcats winning this game. I think the Texans are going to be able to, are going to knock them in this game. Indians and Athens. And it's tough for me to say this, but the Indians might struggle this game. The Indians have not consistently done good against the Angels, against the Athens, but I just don't think the Angels are going to lose this game. The Indians are going to lose this game because there's just nothing to do with this. Indians are still pretty good. Sure, they got demolished by the Giants in the playoffs last year, but they got the second best defense versus the other team. No, it's not happening. It's going to be the Indians to win this game. We got the Bulldogs and the Saints. I don't know what happened in the Saints last week, but they were incredibly good. Are they going to be able to do 2 weeks in a row? Well, the Saints right now are 23rd and 31st. The Bulldogs are much better of a team. Other than that, give me the Bulldogs to win this game. Finally, we have the Hawks and the Ravens. I don't see a chance the Ravens lose this game. This is going to be a very interesting week. And I know this one's going to be a little bit later than it's supposed to, but I had a lot to do this week. So, I will see. This is going to be the end for week number 6. We'll see in week. I'll see what happens in weeks next week, and week 7 will be next week.